So I was watching this movie, right, where a bunch of mental parents keep abusing their kids. But enough about that Louis Theroux documentary on the Westboro Baptist Church. I'm talking about this weirdo film called Mum and Dad that came out a few years ago. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. But first, I should mention at the start that this is a movie where Nic Cage goes full Nic Cage and tries to commit infanticide. So if you've been through a similar experience with Nic Cage or have had an abortion, this is your only trigger warning. So anyways, the hook is a simple one. I don't want to spoil anything, but suffice it to say that the main plotline involves a strange TV signal turning people into violent, dribbling rioters. It's exactly like that time in summer 2020 when the CIA triggered the antifa by interrupting their My Little Pony marathons with MK Ultra kill tones, and they proceeded to burn down Portland.
We protect us!
Put that goddamn fire out. That is a black building. Black lives matter. Put that fire out on that black owned business right there.
But I digress. Anyone watching this flick can soon agree that the parents are absolutely justified in trying to smack up their kids. I mean, for a start, they've cast some of the most annoying actors in a film since that Anakin prick in Phantom Menace. I guess to make it palatable for when the parents start coming after him at the end, and we don't feel too bad about rooting for the kids' spleens to be ripped out with a kitchen utensil. And at the end of the day, it's the job of the parents to teach their offspring valuable lessons which will stay with them for the rest of their lives, short as they may be. And teach them they bleeding did, for 82 minutes! Look, when you got kids out here stealing $100 for smack, there's only going to be one way to set them straight, son. And I mean, who hasn't wanted to strangle their own kid with their pantyhose after putting up with them constantly nicking your hard-earned dosh week after week? There's got to be a breaking point. So how can we judge these poor people? I heard Josef Fritzl when he locked up his daughter in the cellar because he'd had enough of her constantly rifling through his wallet so she could get enough De Niro's to go see Ghostbusters again in the cinema. Although admittedly, that is unsubstantiated info I got off the chans. But anyway, I mean, if this silly little girl did her homework, she'd know you can make $100 easy by just showing your weenus on OnlyFans. And no, weenus doesn't mean what you think it does. Google it and then get your mind out the gutters, you bloody pervs. But anyway, then there's that scene with the main character's sister who's going through labour in hospital and randomly tries to kill a newborn infant. I mean, sure, you could argue she'd just given birth so wasn't quite thinking straight, but also the blasted thing was getting fanny juice all over a nice clean hospital gown, so of course she's going to try and squeeze it to death. I mean, that makes sense, right?
You make sense.
I mean, I can understand why all these adults are doing this. And as for Nic Cage's character, I mean, you got a feel for this fella. He was once a free-spirited wild boy racing cars whilst motorboating blondes, and is now a washed-up middle-aged office drone who looks like Nic Cage. And he even says it himself in the film. He has a blue cheese waistline and hair coming out of his nose and ears, and his salary went from $145,000 to $45,000. The geezer just wanted a goddamn man cave, for Christ's sakes. Is it really too much to ask for these kids to just stand there and take a little pity beating now and again? A man has to release his frustrated midlife crisis anger or else he'll become toxic. And if there's one thing that us progressives hate the most, it's toxic men. Am I right, sisters?
Oh, you fucking shit, you guys! You know what? I'm going to
It's not like his daughter is a saint. There was even a flashback to her childhood where, as a kid, she used up all of Selma Blair's posh totty lipstick and tied herself up in the middle of her mum's bedroom. I mean, what a fucking cheek! No, really, what a cheek. I mean, she did a heck of a job with that slap. What an artist. Anyway, my favourite bit's at the end when the tables turn harder than an epileptic DJ spinning the decks at a rave, and the grandparents bust in waving shanks like roadmen collecting peas, and Bishop off Aliens chases Nic Cage around the house like he's trying to punish him for inflicting Ghost Rider 2 upon the world. Alright, now if you're still on the fence about watching this movie, even after hearing sentences like that, then I don't know what to tell you, son. You're a lost cause, mate, and should probably go back to watching Is It a Cake or Is It In Fact Not a Cake over on the Netflix.
It's not a cake! Not cake!
So in summary, Of course the parents were right for finally snapping and trying to take out their ungrateful little shits with power drills and egg whisks. I mean, look at this little squote's haircut. That deserves a whack all by itself. And to be fair, you can't say Cagey boy didn't warn him.
Like father, like son, right? But if you ever touch that car again, I'll fucking kill you.
So what more do you people want? Now if you like it, you press to like it. Want to subscribe it, you press subscribe it. It's cookie simple,